The Do?
Jordan Bradshaw?
Billy Wilkins?
Is this the Jordan Bradshaw?
Me? It could be.
Hi, I'm Jordan Bradshaw, and this is the Jordan Bradshaw.
Hi everyone, I'm Jordan Bradshaw, and this is the Jordan Bradshaw.
Jordan Bradshaw.
Oh my god. That was perfect. I need to figure out that. I need to figure out how to get those effects.
Ableton, baby.
That's what it is, man. I've always been using Logic.
Oh, you can do that too, I guess.
Yeah. No, I think I got to upgrade to Ableton. I've been seeing too much going on with Ableton.
I'm a fan, bro.
Mm-hmm. Is Ableton what you use to like record most of your stuff?
Yeah, dude. Do you remember John Flynn?
No, I don't think. I don't know.
He was a year older than us. He produced like all the songs that I did. But I remember like we'd be working together, and he'd always be in Ableton. And so I have just watched the way he would work, and it would blow my mind. He'd be like using all these crazy shortcuts, and just like his workflow when he would make a beat was like so stupid fast. So I was like, okay, all right, I'm gonna try this. So I got it, and I started using that, and then eventually, like maybe like a year or 2 years ago, I got the Push. Can you see it from here? This thing.
Like a little, yeah.
So I bought the Push, and I figured out how to program all my VSTs, like where I could control it with buttons on this, like MIDI map stuff. And then I've been using this almost as like a little mixer. So like if I want to turn my reverb on, bam, it's on.
Wow.
Delay. If I want to put this little radio EQ thing I use a lot, that's there. But that's how I toggle between all my different instruments and everything, and it's become like the brains of the operation now somehow, which is weird. But
that's so cool. Yeah.
I love this thing.
So, like, how are you able to do that? Because I feel like I've seen you before, like, doing some sort of video where you're able to turn that on, like, mid-song almost.
Yeah.
How are you able to do that if you're not, like, are you just...
Well, that's the one thing. Yeah, literally, I have to buy... that's the next thing I need to figure out, like a foot controller. I've been buying some other stuff that I could try to program, but it's just so complicated, man. I gotta find one. It's just hard to find one that does what I want. Like the setup that I use, everybody's setups for this shit is just like a little bit different. There's not like one plug in and it automatically works, So it's like I think someday maybe, but it's just such a niche little thing, A lot of like these live loopers, they'll do stuff with like they use like the what's it called, dude? Oh my god, Loop Station. Like Mark Rebier, like all that type of stuff, which is way faster. But like this thing, I like that I have all my tracks separate. Like if I want to record it, I have everything as like a individual file for a song. Like it's all right there. Which I think you can do that on Loop Station now too. But I like being able to do it in Ableton. I think it's sick. But, I don't know.
No, that's super interesting right there. Well, man, it's like I know we've been catching up a little bit already, but like I wanted to know, like, how did you get started with like everything that you've been doing? Like what was it that made you wake up and just decide like, all right, you know what, today I'm gonna go sing for some strangers?
Dude, I don't know how I got here, but I don't know what happened. The past 2 years is a blur, bro. Like I don't know. Like, all right, so like in middle school, like when I would practice guitar all day, I would like just go on Omegle and like play for people, and I would pay close attention to like, because I was really shy, dude. I was like scared to go out and like play for people in real life, and I just played guitar all day, and I would play things for people, and I would see like how they reacted to different things. And I'd play certain riffs and see who would skip beats, see who would stay for this. And you realize everybody ends up staying for fucking Party in the USA and fucking skips for all the crazy shit. Like it's like stuff like that. And I would pick up on that. And then like then when everything shut down, like my full-time job, I was playing at the bars and teaching guitar. That was it. That was like all I did every weekend. I was playing gigs, and then everything just vanished like so quick. Like overnight. And there was I'll never forget this, dude. So right before the pandemic hit, I had like I think $5,000 in my bank account, and I spent all of it on this big digital rig for my band because we got asked to play a show opening up for Harry Mack, who's like, I love Harry Mack. He's like an insane.
Love Harry Mack.
It was so dope, and we're gonna open up for him at the University of Delaware for like this big fundraiser event, and I had a bunch of other college gigs booked, and I would have made back my investment for the band, and it would have been worth it, right? And we would have sounded dope. So I buy this thing, and the day before all the, like this little mini college tour starts out, everything just went everything shut down. That was it. Like the world just shut down. It was like March 21st, I think, was the day the Earth just shut down. It was like, and then so yeah, but they decided to do the event as a live stream thing. I was like, okay, well, I just bought all this digital gear. Maybe I can stream it on Twitch somehow. So I start going live on Twitch and doing that, and I had like 3 people watching me, maybe 2 people watching me. But then we opened up for Harry Mack virtually, and I was like, okay, well, this is pretty cool. So I was like, all right, well, now I have this setup. That's all I have. So how can I use this to do something? So I found like some bizarre way of routing like 2 computers together, because my MacBook that Berkeley gave us wasn't powerful enough to do like all this stuff. So I had 2 computers, like an old, like whatever it was, in that. So I used that for my audio, and then plugged do the second one for like video, and then connected it to like Omegle. And I was like, all right, well, I'm bored. Maybe this would be, and everybody's telling me, hey, you got to get on TikTok. You got to do all this stuff. So like, all right, well, maybe I'll just like sing for people on there or something. I just thought it was funny. I was like just posting the dumb shit at first. But I was really bored, and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to hold myself accountable. Well, and also like, okay, back up. I posted them on TikTok and on Instagram for months, and people loved the idea. The people that saw it loved it, but it didn't take off. Like no new people were finding it, and it wasn't really doing anything. And someday somebody commented, they're like, yo, why don't you put all these together into like a compilation and put them on YouTube? And I was like, oh, that could be cool. So I was like, fuck it. And like all the videos are like really rough. Like some of the singing I'm doing in those videos is just like, it wasn't good. And it was just, I was like, whatever, like what I have to lose, fuck it. So I posted it, and it went okay. It didn't really do anything. I maybe got like 1,000 views my first video. And then I was like, all right, well, I still have a bunch more of these. Let's post it again the same time next week. So I did the same thing again. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to hold myself accountable to post one of these videos on YouTube every week. And I haven't stopped. It's been 2 years. And eventually on like the 7th or 8th video, one kind of popped off and got like 400K on YouTube.
Wow. And
gave me a big boost. And I was like, okay, maybe I could take this following. So I started streaming on YouTube then, because I had a following there. I think I got up to like 15 or 20,000 followers on YouTube. So I started live streaming and just like taking song requests, and the whole thing kind of started coming together. But it really just came down to I was bored, and I had one thing. I had to give myself something to hold myself accountable for, and that was the thing. And I got obsessed with it, and then I started like diving into like YouTube analytics and how all these things work, and I got obsessed, bro. And here I am. But I started doing it. I just never stopped, dude. I don't know. No idea.
That is like true definition, like self-made right there, practically.
I don't know.
Just going right for it, man, and
it
like
just never ends,
stopping.
man.
Yeah.
No, literally, bro.
Do you remember what video it was that like got that 400K views?
It was one, I think I titled it I'm gonna marry you or something. Like some girl said, like, after I finished playing, she's like, I'm gonna marry you. So I made that the title, and it was like a thumbnail. And it just went crazy.
I feel like that's like a big thing, is like the title grabbing, something like that. Like, I'm gonna marry you. I feel like that's one of those videos like I would.
It has to be.
It
has to be. Yeah,
wow,
you gotta learn the 3 C's of YouTube: consistency, clickbait, and content. I guess. Let's go with that. I don't know. I just came up with that.
The 3 C's of YouTube. You did not just come up with that.
I swear to God.
Dude, that's hilarious.
Literally.
Yeah.
But so yeah, man.
So you mentioned using Omegle. Like, is that the main website that you use, or is it like, have you tried experimenting with others?
Yeah, no, I definitely tried a few, and there's a few that have like reached out to me and like tried to like get me to like use them like exclusively, which is weird. But no, I think it's good to be able to hop between a bunch of different ones. So I used the main ones are Omegle, and this other one Ome.tv. So I normally do those two. But usually I get banned from one, then I go on the other. It's like you gotta constantly hop around. It's a pain.
Yeah, man, I've always wondered, like, whenever I watch like your videos, I'm just like, how is it that you're finding so many real people? Because I feel like anytime I hop on like Omegle, it's just dicks, dude.
Yeah, it is, dude. I have to traverse a sea of dicks, honestly, to make every video, bro. It's horrible. Honestly, I've got it down now pretty good. Like, maybe it'll take me like 3 to 4 hours to film a video. No, it used to take me like 7 or 8. Like, wow. Every week. Yeah, it was horrible, dude. I have to go. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. Yeah, literally, no, it just took over, dude. And it's really nuts because like when I first started, I would literally just like sing for like whoever would pop up on the screen and this and that. And now it's like I'm looking, okay, who's gonna look good on TikTok? Like who's gonna, I have to like think like that, and I hate it. But like
Wow.
it's like that takes a long time. Like so finding people that have like a good like quality setup, aren't dicks, that's always good. But then
Yeah.
like, dude, like there's so many times where like I'll have like a great reaction, and then the person will be like, I'll be like, hey, if I put you in my YouTube video, do you mind? And they'll be like, oh, I don't want to be in it. And I'm like, shit,
Aw.
that's the worst. Like, especially like there's one video where I wanted to do Dream On by Aerosmith, and I was trying to do like the high part, and I got a really good one. And at the end, they're like, I don't want to be in your video. I'm like, fuck. So I have to sing that again? So I did it again. I couldn't sing for like a month after that video, dude. It was just
man.
brutal.
That's
That's like the
painful to
worst
hear.
thing.
Yeah.
And then
Huh.
I'll even have times where like I post somebody and then they change their mind and they're like, hey, I don't want to be in your video anymore. I'm like, well, fuck. Like, you should. Why didn't you say that when I asked you? And I was trying to
Yeah.
respect everyone with it too. So it's like it's hard, man. But like I've had so many situations where like a video like pop off on TikTok or something, and then I gotta take it back down, or
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know legally what's right and wrong there, to be honest with you. I think it's just always right to just respect whatever they ask for. But yeah,
Right.
it's a pain,
right.
dude.
Man, I feel like that can be kind of painful when it's like, especially if a video starts like popping off or something, and then all of a sudden you have to like cut it short.
Dude, sucks.
Yeah. Do you ever like? I imagine you run into a lot of dicks, but at the same time, do you ever run into like other TikTokers or like other streamers
Yeah.
while you're like on?
Dude, I've met a few, mostly TikTokers, and there was one, probably the most notable encounter I've had with somebody on there. There was this was a crazy thing, man. So I was probably like a year into that whole grind, and my channel was kind of at like a plateau, and things weren't really doing good. All my videos were doing worse and worse every week. And the worst thing about YouTube, man, is when you post a video, they rank it 1 to 10 out of your last 10
Oh.
uploads. And
Yeah.
every video was just 10th place. Like, and it hurts. Like, it's like I'm working hard on it. Like, dude, these videos are like, like 40 hours of work a week sometimes back then.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, I'm doing everything myself. So it hurts. And it kills your soul, bro. But you got to keep trucking through it. And one day, I normally film on the weekends on like a Friday night or like a Saturday night. But it was just like, I had a bunch of stuff going on that weekend. And so I had to film Monday during the day, which is usually horrible. Like, do not go on Omegle on a Monday during the day. Like, think about the kind of people that are on there in the middle of the day. Like, not fun. And I go on there.
Now I
and
want to go
it was
on
a-
Omegle during the day.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, Jordan. There's but dude, there's this kid pops out, and he's Indonesian, and he looks at me, and goes, oh, I know you. And he's sitting there with a guitar, and I play a song for him, and then he plays a song for me. This dude sings like an angel. Ends up being this YouTuber. His name was Randy Dongsu, and he had like a huge following on YouTube, and he has like a diehard following there. And next thing you know, he put me in his video, and all his fans started coming over to my video that he was in. And it was just such a cool thing, and the way we kind of crossed paths on there. It was like a day I wasn't even gonna film, but I just pushed through, and that little thing kind of gave my channel another kickstart, and he was super cool. So that was a good one. I've run into a lot of other like TikTokers too, like a lot of like the magician guys on there. But yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, I feel like my favorite one that I've seen doing like the TikTok streams has always been the guy who does the Kermit the Frog. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen him.
Is that Maximili?
It
With
might
the
be-
zucchini?
I
With
think
Kermit,
so.
he just,
Are you talking about? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah, he's awesome. That guy's crazy,
Yeah.
dude.
I've seen so many of those videos, and it just always seems like it's so like uncomfortable, but like hilarious, man. I can only
Dude.
imagine running into him.
Oh, that's wild. It's weird,
Yeah.
man. Like that part of YouTube, it's such a niche, weird little part of YouTube that like a lot of like that community has kind of like come together. Like everybody kind of like once I finally got my foot in the door, like I got to actually kind of like talk to a few of them and like get to know a lot of the other creators that are doing this type of thing. But it's just you'd be surprised how small of like the world is with that part of YouTube. But it's just such a niche little thing, I'm trying to break out of that box now a little bit, but Yeah, dude, it's so cool to like back when we were in like middle school going on that website, it'd just be a bunch of dicks, and now today
Mhm.
you go on, it's a bunch of people trying to make content or like it's so much cooler now. It's like I love to see that, but yeah,
I feel like that's such a sign of the times right there. Like being
yeah,
able to like see how many TikTokers and influencers, because it all feels like it's so easy, yet at the same time it's like one of those things that I feel like it weeds out who's willing to put in the work because
yeah,
it's so saturated, you know?
yeah. And dude,
Yeah.
if you go on there and like you don't have the right like mindset for it, like it will break you. Like it's a toxic environment, bro. Like I get most of the 90% of the reactions that I film are people just being like, "Yo, you suck," or like just skipping like mid song or something. So like you gotta just not give a shit, I guess, because
Yeah,
it
I
sucks
mean,
sometimes.
yeah, I've definitely seen like some of the ones that you do where you're just like absolutely killing it, and then somebody like you know you'll be doing Dream On or something, hitting the high note, and then somebody will, like
Yeah,
skip, and I'm just like, yo,
yeah.
that would hurt me.
Rip.
Yeah,
It
but
sucks,
I feel
man.
like
It's what it
yeah,
is. It's what people. At the end of the day, dude, and this is what I like. Whenever people ask me about like advice for YouTube, at the end of the day, you have to understand that all we're just like objects on a screen that people scroll past while they're shitting. You know, and sometimes they click on it, and sometimes they don't. But
mhm.
that's the reality of it. You know, and you got to be cool
Yeah.
with that. Like, you got to be cool with either outcome.
Well,
But like,
we're
you know, you
supposed
got
to
to
be
try hard to
entertainment.
get them to click. Yeah.
Mhm.
Obviously, I
Oh,
care if they click. Like, I want them to click, but like,
yeah,
you can't take it that deep. You know.
yeah. Have you ever had any like notable encounters where it's been like somebody has told you something that just like really impacted you, or like there was, you know, maybe a conversation you had with somebody where they wanted some special song played or something like that?
Well, this is I don't know if you. So I did a video pretty recently where it was like the video's titled "How I Made $10,000 Playing Wonderwall."
Yeah,
But
oh, I was gonna ask
it's
about that, man.
okay. All right, so this is a good way to dive into that, I guess, because
Yeah.
so there was a when I first started streaming, I kind of like I built up like a small community pretty quick of like regular viewers that would come in and watch. And it started growing pretty rapidly, and probably like this was maybe 6 to 7 months in, because during the Omegle videos, probably the most popular song that gets requested is like Wonderwall, or at least it was for a long time. And so it got to a point where I was like, you know, I'm never gonna play this song again. I'm just so done with this damn song. So one day, like I was streaming, and as a joke, I'm like, hey, like somebody requested. I'm like, the only way I'll ever play Wonderwall, like if somebody sends $1,000 right now, I'll literally play Wonderwall. And like this guy, he's a physical therapist from London. He bam, $1,000. He said play Wonderwall. And oh, there was
Wow.
another rule too. Is like if somebody else sent another $1,000, it would cancel it out. So it was like a total meme. Like I didn't think anybody would ever do this shit. Like you know, I was like, there's no way anybody would ever do that. He did it, and then I'm about to get to the part where it's like maybe you know you'll be the one that saves me, and then somebody else sent another 1,000, and I had to stop. And I was like, what just happened? I couldn't believe it, dude. I'd never seen a donation like that in my life. I was like, what just happened? So anyway, like months like go by and like whatever. So anyways, this guy ends up becoming like a big donator in my stream and like a great supporter. And he's also, I ended up learning later that he's a singer. So I get this message from him one day. He sends me a crazy donation. And he's like, "Hey, I sent you a message on Instagram. I want you to read it on the stream." And he said this whole thing about how, you know, when COVID hit, he was volunteering as more of a medical role. And he said that he was in an ICU, and a lot of the patients would he'd put on like different YouTuber stuff, and he would sing for them. He would sing for the patients, but they wanted more like rock and upbeat stuff, kind of like what I do. And so he would put my videos on. He said they gravitated towards my videos the most. But he said like a lot of people like, you know, would passed away by themselves, you know, and my videos brought them some of like their last smiles and stuff in that ICU. And like that hit me just so hard, dude. I was just crying like a little girl, bro. It was like it hit me right in the feels. And I just never thought that making a video like that could have impacts like that on anybody. Or I'll get messages from people where they're like, "Hey, man, I've had like a really bad day. You know, I was gonna end it all today, but I put on your video and it gave me a laugh, and I decided to stick around." Like something like that. I was like, "Whoa!" Like I never, you know, that's something you don't think about when you're like singing for dicks on the internet. But like, dude, it's crazy, man. So it's just weird to know that like those videos have impacted so many people out there, which is like, it's bizarre to me. Like, it's absolutely insane to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels it's a heartwarming thing for sure.
Oh,
But
yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, just hearing that's such a, like, feel-good story. I can't imagine, like, what you'd be feeling just to be able to know that you've made that kind of impact in somebody's life out there who they look at your videos, like, you know, constantly and just love you. And at the same time, it's almost like you don't even realize what you're doing. And,
no,
like, how
you
you're able to
never
do that.
realize the ripple effect of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You never realize it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. But I'm just trying to sing for people, like, and then you get messages like that. It's like, whoa. So it feels good, man. Because especially, man, for me, because like making these videos, it was really hard for me to get out of my own way at first. Because I was just so insecure about everything. I don't like the way my voice sounds. I don't like the way I played this take, this and that. But one day I just stopped giving a shit and just being myself. And whatever, however that take came out, sure, that's the take. You know, whatever. If they don't like it, keep scrolling. Like,
Yeah, that's all you can do, man. It's live. You're going for it, you know?
yeah, man. It's cool to see how many people kind of like resonated with that. You know, it definitely meant a lot. I realized it taught me a big lesson for sure. Like, really, like, vibe over perfection and just be authentic, you know?
So you get this, like, $10,000 donation, basically, right? What did you end up doing with
At the
the
end,
money?
yeah. The money went all into my setup.
Oh, yeah?
That's the other thing. So, like, when I first started all these videos, man, it was I had a plastic folding table, a chair from, like, I found on, like, junk day in the street. And I had, like, the computer that Berkeley gave us, right? And I had another laptop. And that was my setup for a while. If you look at my old videos, like, the camera's all choppy. And I'll never forget one time one day I got my first YouTube revenue check. And I bought a webcam. And I remember, like, holy shit, I made money from YouTube. I could buy a camera. Like, this is crazy. I've been filming with the built-in camera on the MacBook that whole time. And so I bought an iMac probably like 7 months into doing YouTube. And then I used that computer until just recently. And then with all the money I made from those donations, I was able to upgrade that. I just got the new MacBook Pro and a crazy monitor, and I'm running everything off of that now, which is crazy. But yeah, it went right back into my setup, man, just so I could do more and more. I paid an artist to make all these crazy overlays and stuff for my live stream, and it was cool. But it all came from stuff like that, man.
Yeah, that's some absolute, like, Mr. Beast shit right there. Like, I saw an interview with him recently where he talked about basically every time that he would make money, it would just go straight back into it. And even, like, to this day. Yeah, like, you've seen, you know, I know he had the big Squid Games YouTube video that went super, super, like, double platinum viral, basically.
Literally.
And he was talking about how much money he spent for it, and I was, like, mind blown. Even to the point that when he was first starting off, he said that he got, like, a sponsorship deal or some sort of thing like that, where somebody was able to give him $10,000. And instead of, like, investing that within the setup, he, like, went out and gave it to a homeless dude, and basically his whole mindset was like, no, I'm gonna make that back with, like, the views and, like, the ad revenue
with the views
and all
from this
that
video
sort of stuff. Yeah, and it ended up working. Like, I feel like that's such a risk to take, just giving away $10,000. Yeah,
dude, it's crazy. It's
so
really crazy.
How much money have you invested in your setup?
Dude, oh my god, so much. This whole setup, well, it's probably bad. I'm trying to think, dude. Well, the laptop I just bought was like $4,000. My monitor is probably like another like $1,200. All the site, most of it goes to like software, honestly. I think I spend most of my money on like plugins and like things like that inside of Ableton and stuff like that. Also, like, yeah, because I haven't bought a guitar. Dude, think about this. You remember how I was back at Berkeley, right? I haven't bought a guitar since 2018, except for a Hello Kitty guitar I bought for a video. But I haven't bought a guitar since like 2018.
Dude, that Hello Kitty guitar.
You need it. It had to be done.
Man, I struggle between whether I like the Hello Kitty guitar or the light up guitar more. Because the light up guitar is so sick, man.
The light up guitar's my baby, bro. That's my real baby.
it's so epic when I see you like sometimes get ready to play the solo and then it just lights up. It's like, yo, green light. It's
It's
the
like
applause
star
sign
power in
coming
real
on.
life.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's like, it's just like that, dude. It's so nuts. Yeah, like you throw those on. Like if I'm like mid guitar, so I don't know what to play, just put the lights on. People will cheer. It's like,
No, absolutely, absolutely.
But, yeah, man, it's a lot of fun.
So,
But yeah, no,
the other
I've
thing that
definitely
I'm-
invested most of it back. Go ahead. What did you, I
Yeah.
couldn't hear you for a second.
Oh no, you're good. The other thing I was thinking, it took $10,000 for you to play Wonderwall, right? How much
No,
would it
not
take
quite.
you to-
That,
Well, yeah, quite. Well, I guess
I know what you're saying.
$1,000, right?
sure.
Yeah, but it took you all this money to play Wonderwall. How much would it take to get you to play Freebird?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. It's like one of my guilty pleasures, bro. I kind of like. I kinda
Really?
Like Freebird. I'm not gonna
So,
lie.
Okay, play it for free.
When I graduated from high school, dude, I'll never forget just driving out of like the senior parking lot with my windows down, and I blasted Freebird. I was like, I'm done. 'Cause I'm done.
That's hilarious.
That was
oh my
it.
god.
I'll
Yeah.
never forget that. So, yeah,
So-
that one I'll do.
Yeah. Do you have like a list then? Like, what are the most popular song requests that you end up getting besides Wonderwall?
Oh, honestly, Nirvana is definitely up there. Like every girl ever has asked me to play. Oh, I want to hear Nirvana. Like I can't, which is weird because like they're like young. Like a lot of the people I'm singing for, like definitely were not around like when Nirvana was like the thing. It's just so weird to see like they've kind of like blown up again through like TikTok and stuff. And then the other is like 505 by like Arctic Monkeys. I get that all the time. Or like what else? I'll get like, then you'll always get like some kid will see me sitting there for guitar. I'll be like, yo, play some NBA Youngboy, or like, so I'm like, yo, like what, how am I, like, what do you want me to do with that? And like, there's a lot of clips where like I'll put on like those songs and I'll just like shred over them, but I can't post them because I'll get DMCA'd off of them, and you know, so it's like all the copyright stuff. Cause I can't rap for shit, dude. So it's like,
No, that's gotta
but
be the
there's
next.
definitely
you
a lot of
gotta-
that too.
You'll have to do a Harry Mack collaboration.
Dude, I want to so, but actually, that might be happening soon.
That
Actually,
would
I
be
got
cool.
to talk to Harry Mack once, dude. I got to pick his brain a bit. About a year ago, there was like a big event on YouTube called like Omegle's Got Talent. It was just like all the Omegle YouTubers kind of in like a call together. It was like a talent show. And no, I remember being in like the in a chat with like Harry Mack, and I was asking him, I was like, yo, like when you improvise, like I know I said this to him, and I thought this was really interesting. I was like, dude, I noticed when you improvise, you have like a lot of like moments where like you go back to like a certain phrase or something that you repeat. It's almost like that's like you say that because you're on autopilot there, and I think you're thinking ahead of what you're gonna do next. Like I'm like, is that what you're doing? Is that how you're pulling from it? And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, it's just like how you play guitars. Like, you know, you have like a library of like licks that you've memorized, right? He's like, it's the same thing for when I rap too. He's like, I have like a whole library, like a back pocket of things that I could pull from, where like if I need to transition or do something like that, I'll hit one of those phrases, and then it helps me get to the next step, which I thought was so interesting, dude. He was like comparing the way he improvises his rap to the way like I do it with guitar, like with solos. And I was like, damn, like that's crazy. I never thought of it like that. But like watching him actually like after that conversation, like I could see it. Like I could see moments where he's thinking ahead, I think, and like in trying to figure it out. But it's just crazy how quick he is, man. He's fast.
Yeah, I mean, I think like within the rap genre, like you do have to kind of be like that. The thing about Harry Mack that's so cool is like he's so technical with it. He's like a professor basically. I saw a video of him recently talking about like literally freestyling, and then at the same time freestyling about rhythmic displacement. And talking,
I saw that.
Yeah, that was
He
like
did like the
coolest thing.
polyrhythm one. I was like, what?
Yeah, I was like, and him just like breaking down like phrasing about like, all right, this is what it sounds like when you flow and you end on the third or the fourth,
Right?
You know, and I was just like, man, I don't know how many other rappers are thinking about that kind of stuff.
They're not. Oh
yeah.
And you know what's crazy, dude? He's of course he's a jazz drummer, bro.
He is.
Yes, he plays jazz drums like a madman.
That.
He's nuts.
I never knew that.
Dude,
Wow.
he's cracked. It all makes sense. I saw a video of him playing. I was like, it all makes sense now. He's a
Harry
drummer.
Mack, you've been
he went to
exposed
music
now.
school and everything. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know where. I think he went to
Berkeley.
Dude, I want to. He went no, not Berkeley. He went to one of us. One of us. He went to. I think I want to say. I can't remember, bro. I don't want to say the wrong one, but he went to a music school and like graduated and everything as a drummer.
Yeah, that's so sick. That makes like a whole lot more sense now because
Right?
he seemed like he's super musically trained, you know?
He is.
So, yeah.
Yeah, he's smart, dude.
Yeah, it's
That dude's on
he's a very
something.
smart
I don't
guy.
know.
Yeah.
I just love looking at like how he comes up with all this stuff. It's just nuts. And also, man, in terms of like, if you want to talk from like a monetization standpoint and like of doing this type of thing, I think Harry Mack is like the most optimized money making machine when it comes to this type of content, bro. Like his live streams rely on people donate like $5 to throw a word into his rap, you know, and then he just it's just such an instant return on investment. You know, it's just like people donate, and then bam, he just goes from dono to dono, and he raps them all. And it's like it's like the perfect format. Like I wish I could rap, so I could implement something like that. But like it's so cool. His business model, dude, is just so inspiring, dude, and it just puts such a fire into my ass. And like it just looking at the way he runs everything, it's just really it's such a cool thing, man.
Mm-hmm. Are there any other like music streamers that you like look to as far as what are they doing, you know?
Yeah, dude. This is so crazy. So I was a big fan of this guy, Mr. Wobbles, for the longest time. He was the way I found him, he was driving Uber and beatboxing for the passengers, but he's also like a jack of all trades. He's a great musician on like everything. He beatboxes, sings, plays piano, guitar. The guy's unreal. And when I started doing those videos, he was like one of the first other YouTubers to like reach out to me and be like, "Hey man, like that's awesome." And so he kind of became like my big brother and all this stuff. And so like whenever I have advice, I need help with something, or like he's like the one person I can go to and talk to about all this stuff, man. And a lot of these other YouTubers like have not been as cool as he has. You know, he's definitely been like, it's just been so cool. But like, I was such a big fan of his, and then just like seeing the way he runs all of his stuff, and he taught me how to bring on my own brand deals, and you know, like stuff like that. He's been literally a big brother to me with all this stuff. So he's the coolest.
Yeah,
But,
man, that is such a like cool way to like go about things, and especially like I feel like having a mentor like that who's able to kind of like help you through some of those steps is such a big thing too.
Oh, you have to. You have to.
Shout out. Well,
yeah, literally, dude.
Speaking of like amazing musicians who have recognized you, right? One of the like guitar hero icons.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Herman Lee of DragonForce.
So
you
crazy.
got invited to like play at their show. How did that happen? Walk me through that.
Dude. So this is another thing. Like I was just taking shots in the dark, dude. Like TikTok. I posted every day on TikTok for like 2 years. Maybe not every day, but like I was consistent. All right. Like I worked hard for like 2 years, and then November of last year, I posted a clip where some girl's like, "Oh, I bet you can't play this song," and plays Through the Fire and Flames. I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, I don't know how to play it like that, but I could do some butchered, half-ass singer-songwriter version of it." So I just did my own thing to it. I didn't think anything of it. And I was like, you know, I thought her reaction was great, but I didn't think there was anything cool about what I did. I posted the video. I remember it was Thanksgiving dinner, and I'm sitting there. I just bam, 100,000. I was like, whoa, 200,000, and then like it's at like 600,000 in like 2 hours. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And it just kept going, and it just did not stop, bro. This thing went all the way up to like 16 million, and I'm looking at the comments, and it's either people shitting on me, telling me how much they love it, or tagging Herman Lee. And I'm like, oh my God, Herman Lee's gonna see this video. I'm like, what? Like, out of all the videos, because like, dude, you know, like I'm a guitarist first. Like, I feel like that's my main thing, and that video does not show off the guitar side of me like at all. Like, it's just like I just played a couple chords and yelled into a microphone. I was like, no, not this one. This is gonna be the one that Herman sees. No, oh shit. Then all of a sudden, I'm sitting in this exact spot, and then Herman Lee duetted your video. I'm like, oh my God. So I watched the video, and he saw it on his TikTok, and he duetted it. And he commented, he says, he goes, full cover when? So I was like, oh my God. So I start getting, like, dude, like a long time goes by. I start getting like death threats from people saying they want a full version of that song. It's just going so viral. And so I'm like, the only way I'd ever do it is if I got Herman Lee to do it with me. you know, because that would be sick. Like Through the Fire and Flames with Herman Lee, like all right, that'll do. 'Cause that's a hard song, like, and it has a diehard following. Like you can't just change it unless you have approval from the man himself. I felt like, you know, because my version was really a butchered version of it. So yeah, so then one day I'm standing in a coffee shop over here, and then I get an email from DragonForce's manager, like, Herman Lee would like to do a collaboration with you. You know, are you down? And I'm like, what? So then it goes crazier. So I'm streaming, I stream on Twitch like a lot. And Herman's big on Twitch. He's one of the biggest Twitch streamers for music. And I rated him. So when you finish your stream, you can send all your viewers to another channel. So I sent all my viewers to Herman right around when all the stuff was going crazy. He goes, Billy Wilkins. He's like, oh, from TikTok. He's like, Billy. He's like, crazy how viral the video's gone. He's like, you got to come out to a show. He's like, where are you from? And then he goes, you should come up and play with us. You know, and come hang out if you want. I'm like, yeah, I want to. Like, what do you mean? So we end up doing the video together. So I make my own version of Through the Fire and Flames. I have Herman do a solo on it. It was like the highlight of my life so far. And then the video, it's starting to take off actually again recently. But then, yeah, I got to the DragonForce show, and they invited me to come up and play, and it was nuts, dude. It was just such a cool thing. Like, it was like the final boss fight of Guitar Hero, but in real life. Yeah. And like, there were a couple other guest guitar players too, like Angel Vivaldi, like a lot of other guitar players I really look up to, man. So it was like terrifying for me. And then after that night, though, I'll never forget. I was laying in bed after all this, and I'm going through Instagram, and like a bunch of like my favorite guitar players just started following me on Instagram after that. And I'm like, yo, what the hell? Like, it was just such a surreal thing, dude. It was just such a dream come true. And like Herman has been like, he's just been the coolest to me, bro. He's been the coolest. So
yeah, it's such a sick thing to get to see. Like, he seems like such a cool guy too.
He is, dude. But all of them were really cool. It was just so weird. I'm like, yo, I'm in the dressing room with DragonForce right now. What the fuck is going on? Like,
what was it like getting to hang out with the band?
Dude, they were all really cool. Herman showed them the video, and they're like, oh, that's really cool. They're like I've never heard anybody play our song like that before. He's like, I actually like it. I'm like, let's go, because I thought they would hate me. But no, they're all really cool, man. And like all the openers, like Firewind was opening up. Oh, also, you know who was on that show? Do you remember Peter Del Reyna, the bass player? Yeah, he was in one of the opening bands. So I got to hang out with Peter. It was really cool to see him. But yeah, man, it was just such a cool thing. One of us, right?
Yeah, dude, that's so funny, man.
But yeah, dude, it's such a trip.
Yeah. Wow. Are there any other like streamers or other, like, who are some of the guitarists that you've like gotten to look up to?
Oh man, you know, I've been watching a lot of like these YouTuber guitarists, because the music industry's in such a weird place right now, man. Things are like really weird, and I feel like I'm kind of like walking a tightrope between like musician and content creator sometimes. So it's cool to see like other musicians that kind of have that together. Honestly, you know who I've been really looking up to lately, man? Joji.
Oh, like, yeah,
because he was Filthy Frank, like, that's a crazy transition. And I don't know, I just think it's really inspiring to see how like some of these guys have built like a platform and like really like done the YouTube thing, and then gone and used that platform to do their musician thing. So it's like, it's hard to manage both though, man. Like, I'll be real with you. Like, the biggest struggle that I've been having lately is like I have no time to like write and record songs anymore. I'm just constantly working on these videos. So, like, I finally got to a point where I hired like a part-time editor to help out, and a guy that does my thumbnails for me, they've been killing it. Like, it's awesome to have like a little team, but like I still do a lot of the editing myself, and like filming is still killing me. And by the time I do have the free time to like write and record a song, I like all my energy from streaming and like singing like so many hours a week, I'm just beat, bro. Like, so it's been hard for me to balance it. So I've got to get better at that, because I want to start shifting gears now towards being an artist again, and like, you know, doing more of my original music. But at the same time, like, I found like this way on YouTube where I can be, you know, constantly grow and still like pay the bills every month. So it's hard to like get away from that. So I don't know.
Yeah, man. I feel like that's like the thing with nowadays is it's like you do kind of have to be able to do both the content creation side of things and have like the talent going on. Because
Yeah.
it's like you can't nobody can just go out and like play shows anymore and get like a
No.
following. It just doesn't really work that way anymore. Nobody's like getting discovered while playing at a coffee shop
No.
and like that sort of thing. And so it's like the only way I feel like you're much more likely at this point to get signed not playing a gig, a single show, really, and instead just like coming up with 1 million followers on TikTok.
Literally just go viral on TikTok. Like,
Yeah,
it's weird though, dude. Like TikTok controls the music industry now.
it does.
It's
But
so weird.
the other crazy thing to me is, like speaking from like an industry perspective, TikTok is like by far the biggest offender of copyright, like out there. You know?
Oh, by
How
far,
many-
I'm just waiting for it, dude.
Yeah.
I don't make any money from my YouTube videos because I get copyright claimed on every video.
Mhm.
Every video I've ever posted. Even when I play my own songs, bro. Like every time. It's like it's a nightmare.
It's always something, man.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting. I know eventually TikTok's. I mean, they're starting to get better at it, but I don't know what's gonna happen with that.
Mm-hmm.
I heard rumors that they're gonna start their own streaming service for music.
YouTube.
No, TikTok.
TikTok. That would make a lot of sense because I feel like that's the only way. Because like, it seems like really the industry kind of screwed up because they didn't try to embrace TikTok earlier and try to get them on their side when they were still
Right.
like early on, right? Like if they had done that and been like, hey, no, you can't use that song right now. You got to pay us first. Then we'd be
Right.
looking at a complete different situation. Granted, I don't know what content would have looked like in that sort of timeline, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't do that, and so now it's just gotten to this point where it's like they've almost had to like embrace it on the other way of like, yeah, here's free music, listen to it, play it as much as you can, make it go viral, and I will pay you to listen, as opposed to like getting paid
Right.
to listen. And it's
Yeah.
completely inverse the industry.
It's so weird, man. And also,
Yeah.
like, the other thing, too, is, like, I'm curious to see if they were to start their own streaming service, what it would look like from, like, money to stream, from a money to stream standpoint, you know? Because, like, for example, do you like to give you some context? Like TikTok, the creator fund doesn't pay much. Like, I had, like, a couple months ago, I had, like, 20 million views. And, like, guess how much money do you think I made from 20 million views on TikTok?
From TikTok, I'm gonna guess $100.
Yeah, it was more. It was probably like 700 or 800. But
Oh,
like,
okay.
isn't that wild?
That's good.
Yeah,
that's
but, like,
a lot
dude-
better than 100. But yeah,
Yeah, but like, still, like, I you know, like, that's crazy to me.
yeah. I mean, you think about that. Even Spotify would pay you more, and Spotify's like one of the worst offenders about
No,
getting
it's
paid.
crazy.
Yeah.
And YouTube too. I had a video that Through the Fire and Flames Cup got like 10 million views on YouTube, and I got hit with copyright claims, so I didn't make anything. But I would have if it wasn't copyright claimed. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So-
man, you make it sound like all right. So like, it sounds like you're not making a whole lot of money off TikTok, not making
No.
a whole lot of money off YouTube.
No.
Like, what was it like? What was the point where you started making enough money that you were like, yeah, I could do this full time?
Streaming. So that's
Yeah.
that's the kicker. So I only have a couple sources of income right now, and it's only from like the occasional brand deals, which I'm trying to work on making that more of a steady thing. And then streaming on Twitch. My entire livelihood right now is my live streams, which is crazy. So I've built this following on like these different platforms, and then I bring the people over to Twitch, and people basically, they'll send a donate, like they'll send me $5, $10, and just like the name of a song and an artist, and no matter what it is, except for Wonderwall, I'll go and play it, and I'll listen to it on the stream, and then I'll play it. Like, I learn them on the spot for people, and it's like a lot of fun, and I've built like a really fun community, like where everybody comes and hangs out like every Friday and Sunday, and it's just a really fun thing. But like that, it's scary. What scares me though is like I got banned from TikTok a couple months ago because they thought I was 12.
Yeah.
And it's
Wait,
like,
wait. They thought you were 12 with a beard.
They thought I was 12. I don't know, but thank God I got it back now. But it wasn't easy.
Bulo over here.
Yeah, I lost it for like a month. I lost a couple brand deals over it and everything. It was like a real nightmare, dude. And then but like that's what scares me. Like with like the live streams being my only source of income right now, it's just scary how fast that could be like taken away. You know, because right now I'm chilling, but like if I were to lose my Twitch, if I were to lose my YouTube, like they could just snap me out of existence like that. then like I can only do so much. So that's my biggest fear. So I really the next year my goal is to take like what I've made from everything so far and kind of like put my eggs in different baskets and find other ways to make money where I'm not just relying on my Twitch streams or my YouTube stream, like stuff like that. So I've got to start to change it up a little bit. But yeah, man, it's just it's such a weird job, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean I feel like that's everybody who's like a freelancer, really. That it's
literally
just constant. You got to be your own manager at that point too.
Yeah, you have to. It's just such a weird thing, man. There's just so many dumb little things to worry about. But yeah, it's cool, man.
Well, see, the deplatforming one is like that's a scary thing. Like
that is crazy.
Yeah, like when I saw that, because I remember like when I was following you and I had seen that happen, I was kind of like, oh, he's gonna be off for like a day or so, like it's a 24-hour thing, he'll be right back. To hear that, first off, I know that it took you like longer than a day. No, and then to hear that you also lost like brand deals and sponsorships, like that's really, that can affect somebody's livelihood. I mean, like
it did,
yeah. Like luckily you were, I guess, like well off enough that you were able to kind of like maintain while not being on TikTok. But to hear that, like if somebody's they don't have that kind of money, because like somebody like Mr. Beast, right? If he's truly just going right back at it with everything, like reinvesting pretty much 100%. Like to think, oh, okay, like I just invested 100% in this YouTube video, suddenly I'm banned from YouTube, like oh my god, like that sounds like
it's wild.
Such a nightmare scenario.
Yeah, and it's really crazy, dude.
Yeah, it makes you think a lot about like the power that a lot of these like social media companies have.
Yeah, no, seriously, like I don't think people understand really how powerful it is. Well, especially for people like me that are doing like this content thing. Like that, they could just snap my livelihood out of existence just like that. So it's like it's that freaks me out. So I don't know, man, but I'm figuring it out. But it's just such a, like if it was my Twitch that got banned, like I would have been fucked. Like that's my bread and butter, you know. So it's like it's just scary.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I think about some of these other people who have had similar stuff happen. I mean, who's that one? There was a Call of Duty streamer back in the day, Dr. Disrespect.
Oh, yeah.
How he had literally signed like a big like exclusive deal, and then suddenly like a couple days later just got banned. And that was like,
I know nobody knows why to this day.
Yeah.
So people don't know what actually went down with that.
Yeah.
I think it's really important to like a year ago I made the switch. So I used to stream on YouTube. And so then all of my content was on YouTube, and then all of my streaming was on YouTube. And I was like, well, what if I ever lost my YouTube channel? So I switched to Twitch just because I wanted to diversify it. God forbid, like I lose one, at least maybe I'll still have the other. So it's like, I don't know why I would lose it, but it's always over some dumb thing. Like TikTok I lost because they thought I was 12. Like, bro, if that's the way that, and that's a big company, and I have a lot of followers on TikTok. Like, if they're going to just like snap me out of existence for that, like, damn, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing that I also don't get is I feel like that's such an easy, like, quick fix. Like, just ask it, all right, show us some sort of ID or something. Obviously, like, you've got a beard. You're not 12.
No, I know. I had to send them a picture of my driver's license, bro.
Yeah. And then for it to not be processed, like, ASAP, knowing that you have all these followers, I feel like there should be some sort of, like, priority. Because, I mean, it is one thing if it's like, oh, I have 12 followers, right?
Right, like, it's like a real account. Like, oh, hey, maybe we should have a human being look at this before our robot just deletes them off our platform.
Yeah, that would be like if, like, Whole Foods just decided one day, like, we don't like Liquid Death anymore.
Yeah,
and
you know
just
what?
like took them all off the shelves for like a week and then had them come back. That would just be insane. Like, that doesn't happen in any other aspect of like business out there.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I was ready to start over. Like, I was ready to go. Like, wow. I was just gonna start again from zero. I was about to do it. I was probably a couple days away from doing it when I finally got it back. But it broke my heart, dude. Because I'd be like, imagine this, Jordan, okay? Put yourself in my shoes for a second. I'm at the bar, right? Like, some girl starts talking to me. Oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, I make TikToks. Oh, yeah, how many followers do you have? I'm like, oh, well, it's kind of, like, I have like a lot, but like I can't show you. I'm kind of banned right now. They're like, yeah, okay. I'm like, no, like it's actually what I do. Like it was
Yeah.
horrible. It's like I don't exist. It's like
Yeah.
it was hell, Jordan. It
Bro,
was fucked
what are
up.
you gonna do with all the bar girls now? How
No,
are you gonna
well,
spit your game?
I don't know. I can't. Well, I realized it sent me into a fucking existential crisis when I lost it.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, okay, like, well, without my social media, who am I? Like, what do I
Mm-hmm.
do? And that's when I realized like everything that I do, literally at my entire day is I was just committed to like making social media.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, holy shit, like without this, like who am I? I was
Wow.
like, damn. So I took like a month off and like I started going outside and like laying in the sun and shit. You know, and it's nice. There's a world out there.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know. I had to
Wow.
force myself.
No, that's like so funny to hear because it sounds like something that it's not that deep, but at the same time, like that is like your whole income, and that's
No,
like
it's
the way that you
crazy.
do everything. Yeah,
I eat, breathe, and sleep social media content.
yeah. Do you
It's like-
okay? Let me ask you this, especially because you just said that.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like there's some sort of impact there when it comes to content creators and like their mental health? Because I
Oh
always
my
feel
god,
like
it's not talked
when-
about enough.
Yeah. No, because I'm constantly like, you have to be on TikTok looking at the trends, looking at all that sort of stuff. And then you start to like almost live in this world of like, this is what it's like. And you're just chronically online. And then I feel like,
Yeah.
I'll step out, I'll go to a bar and I'll talk to somebody normal and I'll be like, oh, haha, and like reference some niche internet meme or something like that. And they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I just watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's I
oh,
love that you
yeah.
said like normal people because like seriously when you go out there like trying to communicate with people that like don't do this type of stuff, it's always like really weird and I'm like, oh shit, like it's always kind of overwhelming for me. I get like really bad social anxiety now, dude. I didn't used to, but it's like it takes such a toll on you mentally, man. I think that's why like you see a lot of other YouTubers like take breaks and stop for a while. And people think like, oh, you do YouTube, it's like it's such a cool job, you stop. Nobody wants to hear a YouTuber complain, nobody wants to hear it out. But the fact of the matter, dude, is this shit's hard on you mentally. It might be a fun job for sure, like it's a great job. I wouldn't change a thing, right? But like there's times for like when you dedicate so much of your time to that one thing and you become obsessed with it. Like, dude, like I am truly obsessed with growth on YouTube and on TikTok and on Instagram. Like it's the only thing that I think about. Like it's gotten to a point where like I would be like I'd have like friends over and all I'd be talking about is YouTube and eventually just be like, dude, just like shut up. And I'd be like, oh, but my the analytics, like look what so and so's doing and look at his retention rate. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm like realized I'm like, okay, I might have a problem. But like I'm truly obsessed with it and addicted to it. So it's like it's all I want to do. So it's hard, man, and like you sacrifice a lot socially. Like even like my summer, like dude, I stream every Friday night, and I used to film every Saturday night. So like there goes my social life right there, right? And like during the day, I'm editing constantly. It's like, well, my friends are like going out and doing stuff. Like I've been home, dude. Like I've gone out a few times. Like I force myself now, but like all I do is work on this shit, bro. It's like all I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And
the
if I'm
other
not
thing
working
is-
on it, I'm thinking about working on it.
Right. And
So
the
it's
other thing
like-
is like you don't have that option when you're doing it all yourself. Like you can't just clock in, clock out sort of thing.
No.
Like it's if you've got 10 hours worth of footage that you have to have edited and it's got to be done by tomorrow,
Yeah.
sucks. You're just
You're doing it.
yeah. Get a
And
bunch
you
of coffee,
know-
man.
Yeah, I'll be real with you, dude. The thing that makes it really tough, I think, is because I think you could probably relate to this because like the thing that I do. All right, so like when I'm bored, right, my favorite thing to do is just play music, right? Like that's one of my favorite things to do. But there becomes a problem when you blur the line between work and that thing you love to do, and now that thing you love to do is also your work. So now constantly, no matter what, 24/7, if you're not working, then you're doing that thing you love. It just ends up becoming the same thing over and over and over again, which is a blessing. You could have way worse problems in life. But over the long term, like, dude, there's definitely been times where I end up in like a rut, like really bad over this type of thing. It's just like it just mentally kind of drains you, especially with like what I'm doing with like the Omegle thing. Sometimes just being around such a toxic environment so frequently, it definitely takes its toll. And being consistent is really hard. But I force myself to
yeah.
it. And there's a lot of people that are like, "Oh, you got to prioritize your mental health, this and that." And I'm like, "No, I have to work. Like I must post on Wednesday. Like if I don't post on Wednesday, like I suck. You know? So it's very hard for me to take a break, and I've been trying to get better at that. But
well, see, like the other side of things too is like I'm sure you relate to this too, but it's like I feel like I can't scroll through TikTok anymore without just wanting to critique everything. You know, I'll see like another content creator and I'm like, oh, that's really cool, or I'm like, I don't like the way they did this, or you know, this could have been better, or something like that. And it's like I don't get to just watch it as like entertainment anymore. It becomes almost like I'm working when I'm just trying to, you know, like relax.
Bro, that's me at like a live show. Like if I go to a concert, right, or even if I listen to music, I'm constantly like, if I hear something that's cool, I'm like, oh, I wonder how they made this sound. Oh, I wonder how I could implement this. I wonder if when I watch TikToks, oh, maybe that's something I should do. And I can't just enjoy it, and that's why maybe you'll get this too, bro. Because like the only kind of music I can truly like zone out and just like vibe to is like EDM now, because I don't make it, and it's the one thing I can listen to that. Like I went to see Skrillex, and I was just like in a fucking trance the whole time. I was like, whoa. That was the only I truly zoned out. And like when I listen to like when I went to go see DragonForce, so right, I'm looking at, oh, I wonder how they're running this guitar and this and that, like, and I'm like in work mode. Yeah. And it inspires me still, but it's not the same like where I could just kind of vibe out. It kind of ruins it.
See, I feel that way with like hip hop more so, even though it's like hip hop is something that I do, like I feel like I'm a little bit adjacent to that somewhat. But at the same time, like when you talk about EDM, I'm like, wow, maybe that's the reason why I like EDM too.
Right, that's what I was saying. It's like my escape.
Yeah, but the one thing is for me, like I'm the type of guy that like when I see something like that and I'm like, yo, that's cool, I still want to go into like, yeah, I get DJing is completely different, but now I want to learn how to DJ.
Right,
and
no,
like that sort of thing. Yeah. I'm like, and then I'm also even at like those kind of shows though, I'm sitting there, I'm like, that lighting rig is super cool. That kind of like thing, like how come I don't do that sort of stuff? You know?
Yeah.
So,
I don't know, man. I find that's like the one thing I can escape to, which is it's so bizarre, man. But like it's just like I said, it's just a tricky thing. Like when the thing that you love become one thing, it just kind of fucks you up a little bit. And I think a lot of people don't get that. Because a lot of people work jobs that they just fucking hate, and then they have like they know, okay, at 5 o'clock I'm done and I can do what I love, right? But for us, that 5 o'clock never comes. There's really no cutoff, and it's just like this constant stream of consciousness that's either giving, you're either working on what you love or you're feeling guilty about not working on it. You know?
And at the same time, I mean, like us doing music, like music's inescapable. You can't really go anywhere and not hear music, you know? Yeah.
Dude, I've been driving lately with like no music on. Like, you ever do that?
Same thing.
It's kind of nice sometimes.
Actually, I started, I had to switch over, like, even when I go to, like, the gym and stuff, I don't listen to music anymore. I'll listen to podcasts.
Yeah,
because
I'm
like, all right, I would rather do that. Like, I'll be learning something and, like, listening. I'm like, that's insightful or something like that. Because if I listen to the music, then I'm still in that mode, you know? Dude, I'll be lifting weights and I'm like...
Yeah, Joe Rogan's like, yo, aliens, man. I'm like, oh shit.
yeah. See, at the same time, that's exactly, dude. That is exactly what I do. I'll listen to Joe Rogan podcasts or stuff while I'm at the gym and just like be vibing to that sort of thing. I'm like, man, he's so stupid. Why would he say that?
And right now, like, somebody's listening to the Jordan Bradshaw right now. Like, oh yeah, I totally relate to this.
It's me. I'm the one doing that. So, the other thing that I was thinking about, like one of the things that you had said is like when you go to the bars, and you face like those people in real life, I feel like everybody has, this online persona sort of thing where it's like you could be talking to somebody at a bar, they're super cool, you show them your video and they'll be like, oh, like I've met you, I think this is cool now, but then if you were to just come up on their TikTok feed and they see Wonderwall, they're like, fuck you, Wonderwall, get wrecked. You suck. Dude. It's like, but people won't say that to your face.
Oh, yeah, no. Everybody that's come up to me has been, like, very positive for the most part. There's only been a couple weird encounters I've had, honestly, so far. Like somebody followed me home a couple weeks ago. That was weird. But yeah, no, it's mostly usually positive stuff. People will say all this, they'll type all this dumb shit through the internet. It's just crazy how fast people want to hate you. It's like the second people see a video, they want to hate you.
I think that's like the popular thing now. Like it's
Yeah.
like trolling went from being kind of like a funny thing that people would do to just being like mean and like hateful. Like people, I remember people used to go on and like they would troll people by like they'd come on a stream and be like Freebird, Wonderwall, something like
Right,
that.
and that's fine.
Now it's just like now it's just nah, blah blah blah. You suck.
Dude, like literally, I'll read a couple of my most recent comments on YouTube to you right now. Let's see. Let's take a look. How did you mess up on a video of me playing Eruption, which I don't even really know how to play. I butchered it. Like I just fucking people ask for whatever song and I'm like fuck it, like this. Somebody like, how did you mess up the taps? That's the easiest part. Dude didn't even play it correctly. Then there's a couple nice ones. Yeah. Oh, okay. Here's one. Now I'm getting it. So in the Through the Fire and Flames video, there's a part where my voice I kind of move back like this, but my volume level doesn't change. So now this guy's how does his voice remain at the same peak without dropping from the move right up to the mic without sitting all the way back in his chair? Fake. Lip syncing. Fake.
Yeah.
Auto tune. No one cares. Most of them are very negative, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that gets it. You can't let that get into your head. It's hard. There's definitely usually more positive ones than good ones, but like on days, I notice like when a video starts going viral, like it goes viral normally because the engagement from the negative motherfuckers.
Oh yeah. Well, see,
100%.
you know, it's crazy that you say that because actually recently I kind of had an epiphany about exactly that. And one of the things I did is I had a friend come over and we were going to shoot a podcast basically. And one of the main things that I wanted to do was talk about Andrew Tate. Cause I was like, all right. Yeah, I was like, no, I want to talk about Andrew Tate and I want to like, you know, talk shit basically. And I did that and we cut a clip for it. Oh my God, it blew up because of all these like Tate haters that were, or like not Tate haters, but like pro Tate people coming out and being like, man, this guy sucks and like all this stuff. And I was kind of like, I was sitting there laughing because I was like, wow, like it kind of worked. Yeah.
If you look at these guys like Jake Paul, like playing the villain all the time and stuff, dude, he's smart. It's smart. Even Tate, he knows what he's doing. You know, he gets it. It's fucked up. I hate that that's something that people have to do, but you have to kind of like go out and do these things that are going to get you this engagement for people to know who you are, which is kind of wild. But yeah, it's kind of fucked up, man. Some people definitely go too far with it. But like, I think the fact like in the video of me playing Eruption, I think the fact that I didn't play it identical to the way Eddie Van Halen plays it, I think that's why it blew up. Because now all the guitar nerds are like, oh, you suck, you missed this E on the 7th fret because you know, like dude, like who gives a shit? Yeah.
No, and at the same time, you know, like half of them couldn't even play it themselves. And plus, like the other thing is,
even
I
if
can
they
tell.
could.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is like you're borderline sight reading it all, you know?
Literally,
like,
no, and that's what people don't understand, that when they watch my videos, dude, a lot of these songs that I'm playing, it's my first time playing them. A lot of the time. It's like take off the top, like, you know?
I've seen you do cuts, you know, where you're like, you're talking to the person and you're even saying like, I don't know if I know this song, and literally like listening to it right then and there and pulling up tabs.
On TikTok, a lot of that gets cut out. You know, I can't post those parts on TikTok, like, but it's like I always have to edit it just so it gets to the action faster. But like people don't understand that, and that's something I don't even bother explaining it anymore because like I feel like the average person just doesn't give a fuck. They don't care if it's like you know.
Yeah, no,
does
they
it sound
don't get
good or not?
No, they don't get it. They don't understand it. A lot of them, you're the entertainment in their phone, their little box. You know.
Yep.
That's all you are. You don't actually exist. You know.
No, literally. You have
until
to be
they meet you in person, and then they're suddenly like, actually, you know, I really like Billy.
Yep.
You know.
Dude,
and then they turn around too at that point too, and they'll also come out and be like telling their friends like, yeah, Billy, like, look, I got a picture with him, and it's like, meanwhile, if you check their history, they've got a burner account just dissing you on every
like
video.
Shitting on me the whole time. Yeah,
that
sounds about right.
People are crazy. Yeah,
dude, they are nuts. They are really crazy. Like some people, like just really. I think people like. It's always funny, man. On TikTok, especially, I'll always click on like the accounts of the people that are hating on me. And I'll always look, and the funny thing they all have in common, 90% of the time, it says follows you. Like, I'm like, well, why are you following me if you just comment? Like, do you have fucking post notifications on just so you could shit on me all the time? Like, I don't get it.
Now, are you somebody, do you engage with your haters? Do you, like, play it up, or do you just ignore it? Yeah.
It's very hard for me, dude. Like, there's times where, like, I want to, like, sometimes people really get under my skin, bro. but I ignore. I won't give them the gratification of knowing that I saw it. I see literally every comment. Like I'm always on my phone. Like I probably see every comment that I get, and I ignore 90%. I just honestly, I'm at a point now where I really don't check the comments anymore. Like in terms of like replying, you know. In the first hour or whatever, I'll go through and I'll like a couple of them, but I just don't even look anymore after a while because it puts me in such a bad mood. Because there's gonna be 30 really nice comments, but it's gonna be like the one person that has some shit to say, and it's gonna piss me off. And so I just don't look at it.
Yeah, no, you can't. It's too much for your mental health. Like you'll lose it all if you're constantly looking at just bad feedback because people won't even like. Sometimes they don't even watch the video, and you can kind of tell.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
They'll just like watch 2 seconds of it and be like, nah, sucks.
Well, even with like that Wonderwall video, right? I had to cut that whole thing up for it's like a 10-minute video on YouTube. I had to cut it up into like 5 different parts for TikTok. And so if somebody watches part 2, they think I just scammed somebody out of $1,000 by not playing Wonderwall when somebody else did the other one. And so people are writing, yo, dude, this is fucked up, unfollowing. I'm like, did you watch the rest of the video? Like, they're like, what? They're trying to, like the whole video had like this heartfelt message to it, and it gets taken out of context, and people were like, "Oh, fuck you." I'm like, wait, I don't know.
Man, yeah, that's the other thing is like the way that the algorithm plays sometimes when it will show part 5 as opposed to like part 1, and so people will only see the ending of it. Yeah,
right.
It
changes their perspective.
Messes everything up. Yeah, because you don't get the context.
No, it's a big thing that you lose, and it's hard to edit all the context into short form content, man. It's really hard, and especially with like attention spans, because nobody gives it. They don't care about the context until they start watching it, and they're already hooked. But to get them hooked, you can't show them the context.
Yeah,
like
no, because like you can't force you can't make somebody sit down and watch a 15-minute video. But they'll sit there and they'll watch the 20 seconds. But to edit and condense like 15 minutes into
you
like
lose a lot of context.
Quick thing. Yeah. It's so hard. No, I get you completely. And then on top of that, trying to like almost create for like the different platforms, because when it comes down to it, you can't really post like a short on Facebook. It doesn't make as much sense as if you were to post one to like Reels or TikTok,
right.
Yeah. So it's like, the way that, I don't know. Yeah, social media, man. It's
a nightmare,
one of the tougher jobs that people don't
get.
It
is fucking brutal, bro. But at the same time, it could be a way worse job. But
no, absolutely.
It's just such a bizarre thing, man. It's just so much psychology, so many dumb little things, and it's a scary time, man. But it's also really cool that you're able to get so many people to see something from your bedroom.
And just to set the record straight for anybody listening in, we're not complaining about our jobs.
Yeah, no, I love it. We're fucking blessed, dude. Like we are
real.
So lucky. But if there are any bad, like this is the type of bullshit.
Right.
For sure.
Well,
and somebody's listening to this like, yo, these guys are fucking soft. Like, but no, it's like, this shit's hard, okay? I swear.
No, I'm gonna cut this segment into 20 seconds, and then I'll post
it. Exactly.
Knowing that somebody's gonna like come out there and be like, "Wow, I fucking push oil all day, and I've lost an arm doing that," or some sort of shit.
Wow, so ungrateful. Unfollowing.
Yeah, for real.
No,
it's rough, man. It's rough.
Dude, it's fine. We're fine, dude. It's totally fine.
This is just a therapy session now.
Literally.
We're just venting.
Dude, you know what I think would be the funniest video idea ever? What? If I did like a live stream where I just got all like the Omegle YouTube like creators together in like a chat room and had everybody vent just for like an hour. Like the amount of crazy shit. It would be nuts because like there's so much bizarre shit that we have to see to make these videos. It just fucks you up, man.
It's rough, man. It's so rough. But I mean, like, the other thing is, when you go to like a gig, you're like playing live, right?
Yeah.
You don't really get that either. Like, people will come up, they'll tell you like, "Oh, you did great" or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But, the worst thing that's gonna happen is somebody's gonna like get up and walk out. You don't have somebody
all
who
the time.
will really like stop the show and be like, "You suck." I mean,
I've had
maybe
that.
You get like hecklers. Yeah, actually, I was gonna say I
you
do
live
kind
in
of
New
get
Jersey,
that.
bro. No, I've had some crazy shit, especially at the bars, dude. I've had just like drunk people do wild things sometimes, man. They have hot take. I had this one guy. You'll get a kick out of this. This one drunk guy at the bar kept complaining to me because I had my light up guitar, and the light was too bright and it was annoying him. Like the LEDs from the guitar were annoying this man. And so whenever I turned the lights on, he'd make a comment, he'd be like, "I don't know why the fuck you keep turning the lights on." He's like, "It's so bright." He kept complaining. I was like, "Dude, like if you don't like, why don't you just fucking stand back there? Then like, why don't stand directly in front of me? Like you could walk anywhere you want in this bar. Like." Why are you standing right in front
sunglasses.
of me? Literally, dude, people are.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of like doing all this shit from my room now. Just like I told myself, dude, I'm done playing like bar gigs and stuff. I quit. I retired. I'm done.
No.
Never again. Next time I play shows, like I miss playing for human beings so bad. But next shows that I play are gonna be like venue gigs and like playing for like opening up for a band or something. I'm done with the bars. I'm so done.
No, that's what you got to do, because the bars too, they'll screw you out of money.
The bar owners are, dude. There's some really cool ones, but there's so many of them that are just dicks. Dicks, dude. There's this one bar I played at the beach, and I got Cokes for my band. I got like 4 Coca-Colas. I was like, "Hey, can we have a couple sodas?" They took the 4 Cokes out of our paycheck for the end of the night.
Wow.
I was like,
Dude, that's not. It's not even like alcohol. That's
it'd be one thing if it was like maybe a mixed
dime.
drink or something. It's just a fucking soda.
Yeah.
So
my god, that's
wild shit.
That's an insane one.
I'm so done, bro. I put my time in with that shit. I played the bar gigs for like probably well over 10 years. I think I did it.
Yeah. I had a friend, and I liked his mentality the most. He one time played a show. At the very end, they basically were like, "Yeah, we know we promised you guys like $200 each, but you guys didn't bring in enough people, so we're not gonna like give you as much." So he said, he was like, "Okay, but I'm taking a chair," and he grabbed one of the chairs from like one of the tables and started putting it in his car. And they were like, "We're gonna call the police then." And he was like, "You sent me an email showing how much money you owed me, and you didn't pay me. So do it. Call the police. Have them come down here. We'll talk it out." Yeah. Sure enough, the guy got paid.
There you go.
I was like, man, that's the mentality. I'm taking.
That's right. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
Dude, it's brutal, man. I'm so like the world I'm about to try to transition to, man, and cause I really want to go out and play shows again. It's so bad. I need to learn about like how to get onto a tour and like how to open up for other bands and like the logistics of actually playing at these venues. And I'm sure I'm gonna get dragged through that whole world of shit now, which I'm excited about. But like, it's gonna be. I'm sure I'm gonna get my ass handed to me many times.
Oh, dude, it'll happen. But that's just tricks of the trade, right? It's just the way it goes. It is what it is. But I mean, we all gotta go through it,
Yeah, totally, dude. So I'm excited to put my time in with that world.
Yeah. So speaking of which, what are your like upcoming plans?
Dude, I'm in such a weird place right now, man. I'm trying to figure that out too. Actually, I have tomorrow. I think I'm gonna kind of figure that out. So I'm there's this big rock band called Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah, I know them.
They're dope. They're an awesome band. And so after the DragonForce thing, the guitarist started reaching out to me on Instagram and saying like he loves my stuff, and this guy's become like he's been sending my music out to like all these different people, and he's been like the coolest dude, and he's just been such like a cool like mentor to me. So tomorrow they're playing at PNC, so he invited me to come hang out with them. So, but I'm gonna pick his brain as like somebody like they've been one of the top rock bands in the world for like a long time, and so I feel like they'll have a lot of good insight for me, because he told me he's like listen, man, he's like the social media thing is cool, he's like, but eventually he's like you got to start doing the artisting again too. He goes, and also he's like you don't have to do all this shit by yourself. He's like you can build a team of people that can help you with this. And I think my biggest downfall, bro, is that I'm stubborn and I like to do everything by myself. I'm bad at that, so I'm trying to get better at it. But like even if I had somebody like to help me out with a lot of this shit, or like even like bringing in some like the brand deals and stuff, or in helping to book and stuff like that, I think if I'm more open-minded to stuff like that, I think it would be I'd be able to grow faster. But I don't know. I don't know what's right.
It's interesting you say that, man. One of like my like best go-to people when it comes to industry stuff, guy who's like pretty well endowed within the industry, I would say. He always told me, he was like, DIY is a DI lie. And I
Really?
always like think about that. Yeah, because he was like, you think about it, and he made a PowerPoint presentation that I thought was like low key kind of brilliant. Where
Yeah.
he laid out all the steps from the point of like writing the song to the point of release to the point of post release, all that.
Right.
And listed out all those steps, then listed out every job that you would need to do for each one.
Right.
And
It's
like
a
by
lot.
the end of it, you're wearing, 12 to 15 different hats.
Yeah,
and he
dude,
was like,
no.
you can't be competing with major labels with one person
Right,
going
you
up
can't.
against literally a team of like 100 per each artist,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I think I have to be more open-minded to building a team, man.
Mhm.
I can't be afraid of it. So
I mean, at the end of the day, we're building a business, and it's like
Facts.
you also gotta have employees.
Yep, 100%, dude. A lot of people don't get that. You could be the best musician in the world, dude, and if you don't
Mhm.
understand that, then it doesn't mean anything.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's funny, man. It's like the music almost has become such a small piece of it. Like the
Mhm.
music has to be good enough. It has to be able to hold its own. But like if you can have people that are like fans of just you and what you're doing, it's just such a more powerful tool. So I'm trying to build a fan base of people where if let's say one day I don't feel like singing, I don't feel like playing music. Maybe I want to go live on Twitch and play like Rocket League for the day or something.
Mhm.
You know, like have people that are, we'll come hang out. Or if
Mhm.
I want to make a video where it's like maybe I'm taking a break from music, I want to make a vlog where I travel to like I don't know wherever I go on a vacation. I make a travel vlog one day. Like I
Mm.
want to be able to have a following of people that would still be into something like that just because they like what's going on. You know?
Yeah, that's like.
So it's like,
do you know Action Bronson?
of
Like
course,
his
yeah, I
show,
love him.
Fuck, that's delicious.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He's done
Yeah.
everything. Look at that man's fucking path. He's done so many different things, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good
gotten to be
businessman.
so
He's a good-
adjacent to like everything. It's such a cool thing. It's like that's what I look at, and that's why I'm like, yeah, that is
That-
truly success. You know?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's I think that's a good way of putting that. I think that is like just such a fucking brilliant form of success.
Mm-hmm.
I think once you have that, it's like, damn, you really did it.
Yeah. One of the things that I like tell people a lot is like, especially like artists when they're trying to kind of break out, is like you almost got to think about it like the Olympic logo, right? You have
Yeah.
all these different rings, right? But each one connects to itself. And so it's like, yeah, you've got the music. How does the music connect to whatever
That's
else you
big.
want to do? You want to
Yeah.
be a gamer? How can you connect those two, right? And then, oh, okay, you're a gamer and you're a musician. What else do you like? What else do you do? And so it's like you really, to be like a good expert content creator, you really have to like live life at the same time
Yeah.
as like being able to do all that stuff.
If
you
any
know?
of those things are out of balance, then it fucks the rest of them up.
100%.
They all work in tandem.
Mm-hmm.
So
Man,
it's
it's
hard.
all-
It's a balancing act, man. It's just so many different fucking rings. It's
Yeah,
so many
literally.
rings, bro. It's hard.
Yeah. Well, that's why, like, I think about, like, a lot of the people who are coming up, like, bigger, like, like, I think about, like, Jack Harlow, right? Jack
Yeah.
Harlow, he started off, like, just the way that I literally got introduced to Jack Harlow wasn't through his music. It was through, like, seeing clips of him with, like, Drewski and, like, playing basketball, stuff like
Right.
that.
His personality,
Yeah.
his persona.
Yeah.
Well, even like
and
my
then-
example would be like look at like DJ Khaled, bro. Like he's my hero,
Yeah.
right? And now it's like sure his music is great, but like
Yeah.
DJ Khaled as him, just being himself is just iconic.
Yeah.
You know, there's just something
Oh.
so dope about it.
For sure.
So-
Well, so it sounds like you need to go get lost in the ocean on a CD.
I think so. Yeah. Oh my!
Yeah.
I was with you the night that happened. I remember
that.
I was with you. We were at Berkeley that night. DJ Khaled got lost on the jet ski, and I was
Yeah.
like, we were sitting there watching his Snapchat story. I'm like, bro, did you see DJ Khaled on Snapchat? Like, what? We're all sitting there like, what the fuck
Yeah.
is going on? He's like, yo, somebody call AZ. Like, she has my phone number. Like, what? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh man, I remember just sitting there just laughing with you about that as we were just like, there's no way this is real. How is this happening?
Bro, we're like, what? DJ
Yeah.
Khaled's lost in Miami.
Oh man, that's funny stuff right there, man.
But that's what I'm saying, dude. It's like shit like that. And it all comes together at the end because if that didn't happen, I'm sure he wouldn't have sold as many records as he did. Or, like stuff like that. It all works together. The music is such a small piece, but such an important piece of the pie now. Where it's a weird thing. Like, where I feel like it's not that the musicality has to be sacrificed, but the emphasis needs to be on all these other rings and all these different things that all come together and make the finished product at the end, you know?
Yeah. It's, similarly, I have a friend who's like, what I would say is like maybe low level successful, right? Where he's made a good amount of money off it, where he could
Yeah.
probably, I would say if he really wanted to pursue it as like a full-time thing, he could.
You go
But
into
one
it.
of the things that he was telling me is, he was like, I always thought that music was going to be my way to like financial freedom. And he was like, now I realize like I do music because I love it as opposed to like trying to make money off of it. I do everything around the music because, that's what gives me the money to be able
Right.
to be financially free.
Right.
And he was like, and then I reinvest that into the music. And one day, it'll be enough where maybe I won't have to do as much of the other stuff. And he was
Yep.
like, but then I'll still want to do the other stuff. And I was
Yep.
like, that's a great way of thinking about it.
That's exactly how my stuff goes, man. Because like those videos that I make, like I don't make those videos to make money. Like I make those videos because I love making them and because they help me like grow.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can grow, that means in other things that I do, I can make more money.
Mm-hmm.
So it all works together. But
Yeah.
it's like, it's just such a bizarre thing, man. Like imagine explaining what we're talking about right now to like a musician in like the 80s.
Oh, absolutely. But see, what's funny is you say that, and then they look at us and they're like, "But it's so much easier now." Like if you wanted to learn, Master of Puppets, you could just hop on Ultimate Guitar, and
I used to
you
have to
got
slow
tabs
down my
right there.
cassette at 69%.
Yeah, literally. My vinyl, I used to have to put it on the slow to figure it out.
Yeah.
And like all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but at the same time, you could still like if you put in that work, like just locked yourself in the room for 8 hours a day and you were just practicing, trying to learn all these transcriptions, you go
Right.
out and then that practice translates into networking in itself.
Yeah.
Nowadays you can be like semi-decent musician as long as you like are playing it safe enough where you're not messing up like badly
Right.
to the point that the audience can tell. And then
Yeah.
you were to come out and like you could do editing stuff, you could do a lot of different things to kind of like make you seem
You make it whatever you
even
want.
bigger than you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
It's all about the
but then-
presentation.
yeah, but then that makes it so oversaturated at the same time, and it's
Because
harder than ever.
it's so much more competitive now. you know?
It is so much more. Yeah.
That's the difference. Like now, okay, so sure now you have access to all this shit, but now you have millions of other people doing the exact same thing. Why should you get picked?
Mhm.
It's like, damn. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but at the end of the day, man, I don't know. You can't really compare yourself to anybody else with this stuff. If there's anything that I've been learning from this, it's just like everybody's path is so much different with all this stuff. And I don't really think there's a right or wrong way to do shit because you never know what thing is going to just take off. Like with the way the internet is now, it could be overnight and it could also be over 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like slow and steady wins the race. I feel like I've got myself at a pace right now where I'm growing steadily and I'm not killing myself right now. Like everything's good. Because if you notice, man, like if you look, like Andrew Tate's probably a good example too. Like when the people that come in with the hottest takes and the most controversial shit and the most confidence and the most cockiness, they're the ones they blow up. Maybe they blow up faster, right? But after that initial rise, what goes up must also come down. Like, and a lot of people can't handle that. Like, even when my videos first started going viral, dude, like, I remember I used to get like, hundreds of thousands of views per day, and my following would go up. But then, like 5-6 months later, it starts coming down, and you start losing followers. I start losing thousands of followers a day, and every day it's a fucking battle just to stay at the number that I'm at. You know?
No,
So it's like that's part of it. Like for the bigger, no matter how big the rise, the bigger the fall is too. You've got to be prepared for the come down. And sure, some people can maintain it for a long time, but like I think like somebody like Post Malone, right, where his rise has been look at it, it's like up and down,
Yeah.
very up and down, as opposed to somebody like Andrew Tate comes in, bam, up to the top, but then look how much faster the drop is.
Well, it's like they're like a flash in the pan sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's crazy.
Interesting you say that too, because it's like one of the other things that I tell, like especially like people our age, is if you were to pull up the Billy Wilkins Wikipedia page, right?
Yeah.
You're still in the early life section,
Yeah.
You're still at the
literally.
like beginning of your career part where it's like,
Very true.
Billy started off, as a Twitch streamer and he started making these
Right.
videos. But you still haven't gotten to that end part where it's like, and then Billy won 10 Grammys sort of thing.
Right, like all right, so how the fuck do we get there? Like,
Yeah. It's like a lot of people don't realize, what is the saying? Overnight success takes 7 years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah. So
For that one moment, like
mm-hmm.
you could say even for like my TikTok, like if I didn't post, I think a big part of the success that I had on TikTok was because after that one video did blow up, I had 2 years worth of other videos for people to scroll through.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, you know, like they can just keep
yeah.
going through all this stuff, and
Yeah.
I think that definitely helped.
No, I had a
It's
friend of a
crazy,
friend
man.
who had something happen like that where she put out a song and the song blew up to the point that labels started contacting her, and I think she like signed some sort of deal. And as soon as she got signed, they were immediate like right after they're like, okay, so what's the next song? She was like, what do you mean? Like I still gotta write that. And it was like
Yeah.
one of those things of like, yeah, you gotta really think, like you gotta be prepared for when that moment happens. You gotta be able to seize that moment, sort of thing, you know?
Dude, I think the only harder thing than getting an initial like viral hit is
Mhm.
getting a second one.
Oh, that's such a good point.
It's like,
Yeah,
dude, right? Like imagine
yeah,
like the pressure like of like let's say you have a song goes up, just does it extremely well. Like how do you follow it up in a way that people
Mhm.
are still gonna like it? Like that's hard.
yeah. I mean, you think about it. It's like you remember when Old Town Road first came out?
Yeah.
Like all
Like
he
what
was
was he gonna
doing,
do next?
yeah, all he was doing was just coming out with these like remixes and stuff, and it kept the momentum going. But then
Right.
it eventually became, yeah, what is he gonna do next?
How do you do
And
it,
then,
bro?
yeah, it was interesting too because I remember I think the album or EP that he put out after Old Town Road was called like Seven, and a lot of people didn't like it, and a lot of people
Yeah.
kept calling him like a one-hit wonder. But then like you look now, and he was able to like kind of escape that and come out with like
You
even
got
more
it.
stuff, and like one of the bigger names in the industry now. You know,
Isn't that unreal, dude?
it is.
Oh,
It
that's
is,
some
man.
stressful shit. Oh, that's yeah, that's the
Yeah.
stressful shit right there.
And
That's
then
it.
that's not even including all the industry politics that you got going
You
on.
right-
too,
oh,
you
yeah.
know. Oh,
Forget
God.
it. Forget it.
Yeah,
That's
but
crazy,
that's
man.
that's another podcast.
I'll tell you what, man. Like, that's the one real blessing so far about the path that I've been kind of on with like YouTube and Twitch and stuff. I feel like I've kind of like while I've been in the music industry, I kind of dance around the outside of it with what I'm doing in a way, which is weird. But like I kind of like that. I don't have to like deal with any of the, like that bullshit.
Mhm.
I have to deal with a lot of like dumb YouTube shit and copyright shit, sure. But like, you know, I don't have to like kiss anybody's ass to do what I want to do.
Right. The other thing is, I feel like you're a good example of like the pro and con of not being in one of the industry hubs of like New York or LA. Like you are,
Yeah.
granted, you're close enough with like
Yeah,
New Jersey
yeah.
to be like in New York, but it's like being, over in New Jersey, you're not quite in the same spot as like all the labels, all the like New Yorkers who are having
Right.
all the competition. And so it's like that I think can help you become a big fish in a small pond. But then
Yeah.
like yeah.
Well, you know, even like look at like I mean, the thing I noticed about like a lot of my favorite YouTubers is like they brought the pond to them.
Yeah.
You know, they're like fuck it, like
Yeah.
Mr. Beast. He's still home. He's in what, like North Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he's the
I
biggest
have
YouTuber
no idea where he is.
in the
Yeah.
world. I think he's
Yeah.
there. Like even like Danny Duncan, he's home. And like Ross Creations, like they're all just like doing their thing where they are, and it's
Mhm.
like, you know, and also for me, like personally, dude, I feel like I get overwhelmed. Like if I were to go to like Nashville or something, I don't think it would go as well for somebody like me. Because I'm very like I don't know, I like to isolate myself, dude. Like I like to be alone. You know, I kind of like doing my own thing. I don't like
Yeah.
comparing myself to anybody else. And I just kind of like I stay in my lane. I just do what I'm doing. It's like
yeah.
that's why I kind of like being like alone here. Like I'm by the beach. Like it's peaceful, but it's good because I stay focused.
Mhm.
You know, there's not a lot of distractions here. So it's like I'm kind of just doing my own thing, and I don't have to worry about all the other stuff. The downside is I don't really have a social life. You know, that's
Yeah, yeah.
definitely that's the
Yeah.
biggest drawback. But from a work standpoint, it's really dope. I'm
Mhm.
sure there would be like a lot of cool networking opportunities and shit, and just like cool people to meet if I moved to like one of those hubs. But I don't know. I don't know if that's for me.
Mhm.
I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, like the nice thing is too, you can always visit those places.
That's
when you
what I'm
need
saying.
to,
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, and yeah, I think you're able to like come away with like a lot more almost doing that because then you kind of got two markets going for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's even like people will be like, oh, like my parents for a while were like, oh, why don't you go play at this bar Over here, you never know who's gonna be there. I'm like, yeah, but like I could just reach like way more people from my bedroom than if Joe Schmo's at the bar, like. So it's like, I don't know. I don't think you have to really be there anymore. It's just the way the technology works now. It's like the internet is such a powerful thing. You can kind of just bring it to yourself.
Yeah, you're able to go wherever you need to go with the internet. Like the internet is its own place at this point.
Yeah, literally it is. There's people that hang out on the internet all day. Like that's their social life. Like, whoa. It's weird. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's just what a weird time to be alive, bro.
For real. All this it ain't shit. Like the 80s anymore.
No, it ain't. I guess not.
Yeah. Well, Billy, man, we've been going for like what, almost 2 hours now?
Yeah, bro.
Man, I gotta say, like, this has been a great interview. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
No, dude, you're chilling, man.
One final question for you, though.
Hit me, bro.
All right. I know this is the impossible question too.
Okay.
What's your favorite guitar that you have?
Dude, whoa.
If there is there a certain guitar that you love shooting with, and why is it the Hello Kitty guitar?
It's not the Hello Kitty guitar. But don't even get me started about that Hello Kitty guitar, dude. Do you know like what I had to do to get that guitar, bro?
No, what did you do?
Oh, apparently there's like a cult following of Hello Kitty collectors, and there's this big YouTuber called The Do, right? And so he made a video with the my whole video. The reason I bought it, I wanted to make a tribute to the Do, like a Do spoof video, right? And that's what I did. And dude, it's a fucking Squire Strat. Do you want to know how much I had to pay for that?
Over under $1,000.
Just shy, but most of them are over.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So I got mine for like 8 something. But like, dude, and mine had a crack in it. Mine was like fucked up. But like pristine ones are going for over $1,000. Like, what the fuck? And I had to outbid like 14 people, bro. It was like 3 a.m. on eBay, and I waited till the last minute to raise my bid by like $100 to beat whoever it was before me. It took me. I bid on like 4 of them and lost. And it took me months, bro, to get this thing.
Wow.
So I fought hard for that guitar. My favorite guitar though, dude, I don't know. Probably one of the custom guitars. Probably the light up guitar. See, but the one that has the most sentimental value to me. My dad bought me. When I was in 6th grade, or maybe even 5th grade, he was like, "Yo, if you could learn how to play Eruption and Flirting with Disaster, and play them in front of a big group of people, I'll buy you a Gibson Les Paul."
Wow.
And so I started practicing like 10 hours a day. And I was like, shit, I want a Les Paul. It was a good motor. He was smart what he did. He put a fire into my ass. But then I really learned that I actually really love doing this shit. And he bought me my Les Paul. And that guitar probably means the most to me. But I think the guitar... Yeah, I'd probably take the light up one. The orange. But I named that guitar Roxanne. Oh. That's that guitar would probably be the one. I also love this one, though. This is probably the most comfortable one to play, though. Like, I love this guy.
Yeah.
You've played this guitar before.
Yeah. I've seen that. Yeah, I have, actually. You're right. It's got doesn't it have the Floyd Rose? Yeah. Dude, that was always a sick guitar, man. I feel like that is the Billy Wilkins guitar now that you say it.
I love that one, man.
Yeah.
That's good. That one doesn't have lights, so we got to work on it.
Did you have to get the lights installed, or did it come like that?
No, I had a custom built. So yeah, I had this guy Christopher Woods built. So the one that with the lights in it, I have 2 with lights in them. The one you're thinking of, I bought the body on eBay, and then I had to clear coat it myself. Then I found this guy that builds custom necks for guitars like that, and so he does all the lights and stuff. So I sent him the body, or no, I didn't even send him the body. He just sent me the neck. I gave him the dimensions. He built the neck for me, sent it to me. Then we went to some little music shop here. I just took a bunch of parts from eBay and threw everything together with this guy. And it's just a bunch of parts. That one that I was told, that one I had that guy build all together, except for the body. Again, I had somebody in Florida paint the body, and then he built the neck and then put everything together for me. So, yeah.
Man,
I don't even.
incredible.
Yeah, it's now I want a guitar again, bro. I miss it. I haven't bought a guitar in so long. Like that impulse feel like that's fun.
Yeah, I got it going for you, man. I got the itch right back.
Bro, how many? What do you got back? I can't remember. You
Man.
had like an Epiphone Casino or I can't know. What did you have?
Yeah, so my main guitar that I used to use was an Epiphone Casino. I like that was always my baby. That
I
was
remember
like,
you loved that guitar. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've also got I mean like now I kind of when I got back home I was like, man, I don't really use a lot of the guitars that I had.
Yeah.
So I started kind of like selling them off because I was like, you know, like
fuck
I
it.
don't really play a whole lot of shows with like alternate tunings anymore and like
Right.
stuff like that. So I was like, I don't need a whole lot of guitars. So I started selling some of them off. Now it's like I've got like a handful of acoustic guitars. I think my favorite one is probably like my Alvarez guitar that I use. That's like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Those
It's
are good.
honestly it's not like it's probably not my best guitar when it comes to like the acoustics, but I feel like that's the one that I always gravitate towards, you know?
Yeah, it feels.
Where I'm
nice.
like, yeah, like whenever I like go to grab a guitar, I'm always grabbing that one sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now she needs new strings, but
I feel that.
we'll talk about that another day.
Yeah, I know the feeling, bro.
Yeah. The
Yeah, I
other
gotta
one that
better
I've been using like a lot has been I have an Explorer.
Whoa,
And, like,
what?
Yeah.
That's so fun. I was just talking to somebody like, yo, that's like the one thing I don't have.
Yeah. Oh no, dude, the Explorer is sick. Here, man, I'll go grab
Let me
it.
see.
for you
Let me
real
see.
quick. Yeah.
That's the one type of guitar I don't have.
So,
Oh, that's exactly what I would get to.
it's kind of funny because
dude.
I was like in a rehearsal and I accidentally busted a nut.
No.
And so I got to go get it repaired.
Yeah.
Because that just like recently happened, and of course, like you can literally still see I still have like the strings. I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
restringed it, and then that happened. I was like, man. So I've just been pissed and not wanting to deal with that.
Jeez.
But yeah, dude, this thing just
That's pretty
absolutely
clean looking.
Sings,
The only
man.
problem, I feel like it's just a bitch to travel with it.
Oh yeah.
Cause the shape, right? I guess it's not that much bigger than like the Casino though.
So I'll tell you, like the case, like all the other guitars that I have, they're almost like they're cases that like fit the shape, right?
Right.
For that one, it's like a giant rectangle.
Yeah, it's
and
one of
a
those fucking
bitch,
things.
man.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
It's such a bitch.
Dude,
to,
imagine
like,
taking
take
that on an
around.
airplane.
Yeah, no, I honestly I couldn't. I just wouldn't at that point. I'd take the Casino or something else, you know.
You know what? I think my next guitar, honestly, I don't if I can find the right one because they stopped making like the neck through one that I want. These Strandberg guitars. I've been obsessed with them since Berkeley. I remember a lot of the kids at Berkeley had the earlier models there, but it's like a headless guitar. They look kind of nuts.
Yeah.
They're pretty weird
Yeah.
looking, but I love them. The only problem I have with them is they don't really let you customize them or anything. And I don't like having guitars that like other people have. Like I want to have something that's like a one-off or like some kind of like weird rare thing.
Yeah.
So like I want to find one that I could like customize or like change up.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I think the necks are really cool, and I think for streaming and for like being spending as much time as I do just sitting here doing that shit, I think a guitar like real ergonomic like that would be the move. But they're expensive, and yeah, I want the one with like the built-in neck, like neck through. That'd be sick.
See, I've been thinking a lot. Like I've been hesitating on buying it. It's gonna be like a guilty pleasure purchase eventually
one?
when I'm just like, man, fuck it. But I really want to upgrade like the Casino and go to like a semi-hollow Duesenberg.
Oh, those are sick.
Those are so sick. One of my friends out here has one, and he used to play it like way back in high school. Just used to like come out with his like Duesenberg guitar.
Yeah.
And I would always be like, God damn, man.
Yeah.
That's such a beauty. And so,
This thing right here is a beast for that type of stuff. That's what I use for all that. 335. But yeah, dude, I don't. It's tricky because for the shred stuff, you need something that's like aerodynamic.
yeah.
And I feel like the problem with the Strandbergs too is I think they're really dope, but I think the average person would look at it and be like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
You know?
No, people will look at like the Hello Kitty guitar though, and they'd be like,
They're like, "Oh, that's
"No."
sick." Yeah.
Yeah,
So, I
yeah.
fucking can't win, bro. I don't. You know.
Man, that's the way it always is. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah. You gotta do
Yeah.
it for the content at the end of the day, bro.
Amen, man.
That's where it's at.
Yeah. Well, yo, I appreciate you coming on, man. Everybody
Dude, of
check out Billy
course.
Wilkins. Yo, plug yourself. Give yourself
Yeah,
a plug real quick.
Let's see. Yeah, Billy Wilkins on YouTube and TikTok, and then all my original music's on Spotify. Look on there too, and yeah. But yo, dude, it's so good to talk to you again, man. I missed you, bro. So good to hear from you again. And it's nice to see the Jordan Bradshaw actually
Yeah.
as a show now. Like, I
Dude,
remember back when this was just a Snapchat story, bro. This was like,
Oh man, it's come from like a long way, dude.
Yeah.
Because it started off, it was just like the Snapchat stories, stuff like that. Like back when I
Yep.
was like on my bullshit at Berkeley.
Oh, yeah.
My first year of college, just like running around being an absolute troll to everybody.
Yep.
Then it turned into like a radio show, and then it was like the saddest thing, man, because like, so I did the radio show, I think, in my first year, like towards the end.
I remember that. Yeah, you did that
Yeah.
at school, right?
Yeah, but then my second year, I like didn't really have the time to be able to do it, so I didn't do it. Then when I came back to Berkeley, the second time around, I was like, I went back and I started doing it, and I like started building it up, and I was like, I had like a whole Snapchat thing going on, like where I would like literally almost be like live streaming the recording process, me sitting there and like DJing, doing all my stupid shit, right?
Dude.
But then the pandemic hit, and then it
Yep.
caused it all to like shut down. And so for the longest time, I was trying to figure out, well, what else? Like, how can I like turn that around? And at the time, like podcasts started popping off, and I was like, all right, it's time to make it into a real show.
Dude,
So-
it's just all about consistency, man. That's it. And
Mhm.
you've got that. And it's
Mhm.
also from all those years at Berkeley and everything. I'm sure there's so many interesting people to pull onto this thing too.
Man, yeah.
Dude, it's probably wild. I could have just from the 1 year that I was there, dude. Like the
Yeah.
amount of people that I've met was nuts. So for you, it's got to be wild.
Oh
But
yeah. There's
this is
so
gonna
many
be
people.
great.
So many people, man. I'm excited. I'm happy to see where it goes. The only way this is gonna transform into anything bigger is if we get a sitcom.
Yeah. Can you fucking imagine? It's a whole other podcast.
Oh my god, literally.
Dude, that would be awesome. So many characters, bro. There'd be so many good characters for it.
Man, there's so many things I want to do. I have,
Oh my
I've-
God.
I have like a first season already planned. If that were
Literally,
to
I
happen.
believe it, dude.
Yeah, but
I love that
it's
shit.
literally I wanted to center around that first year at Berkeley. I think
I
that
think
would be like
that's-
the
it-
funniest thing.
Dude, the amount of shit that we saw and experienced, what a great time. I miss that.
Yeah,
That was such a
Yeah.
fun time, bro.
I gotta say, man,
yeah.
the second time around when I came back, it wasn't the same. Like
Yeah.
in that aspect, it was like we didn't have all the like Billy Wilkins and stuff like that.
Really?
But,
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It was fun. We had a good crew. We had a really good crew.
We had a good run,
Well,
man.
they're
We had
all
a
in
good run.
Nashville now, so maybe I need to go there too. So,
Hey, come out and visit, man. We got a place to
that's
stay.
it. Dude, you know, it sounds good to me, bro. Dude, so
Yeah.
good to see you again.
So good to see you, man.
All right, bro.
right.
I'll talk to you later, man.
Da, 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 da.